just a bit outside.
And welcome to another episode of Just a Bit Outside. I'm your host, Steve Ely, and along with me, as always, my co-host, Wes Cook.
That tasty beverage right there. Woo.
Is it, sir? Is it?
Yes. Yeah, man, it's beer 30. Let's go.
Beer 30 on a opening Olympic weekend.
Yes, on this lovely Sunday, finally the rain has stopped here in Wilmington, so that is fantastic for us.
Oh, my God. It was horrible on Friday, bro.
Dude, the rain has been awful all week. It's like finally lit up today. So now we're back to the norm, it looks like. So
Yeah.
That's what we want. That's what we want.
Yeah, I need a little less rain. I was in it on Friday, and it was either no rain at all or pouring down to the point I couldn't see.
And that's just how it's been, man. It's awful.
Yeah. But anyway, like I said, the Olympics started this week.
Yeah, man. There's watched a little bit of rowing today. The women's rowing, a little bit of women's volleyball and men's volleyball today. So it's been a good spread. Then the Phils came on and blew a 3-0 lead today. Not happy about it.
Well, you've said their biggest problem the whole time has been their bullpen, so.
Yeah, but it's been pretty solid this year. Bullpen's been awful recently. We've just, ever since the All-Star break, man, this team's been struggling. They can't find their stride again. And that's what I was worried about. I said that before the All-Star break. I was like, this is a bad spot to kind of kill some juju right here, and that just what we had going. It is what it is. Hopefully they can find their footing and really get back on a ripper here. But I think we are 2-5 in the series since.
That's not a good start.
No, sir, it's not.
That is not a good start.
Nope.
Man, yeah, I've done a little bit of the Olympics. I've watched more rugby. Those guys are animals. Just animals.
They are wild, man.
Man, and every one of those dudes is just completely just ripped. They're shredded. And you're like, man. And that guy just took a full funnel, like just boom.
I mean, it
is football without pads, and it is excellent to watch. They do have certain rules, though. Do have certain like form tackles, like the seatbelt tackles and stuff like that are illegal. Mm-hmm. But it's still been impressive to watch. I watched the U.S.-Australia game, watched France win the gold medal against Fiji, which was just, I don't know. We kind of talked this pre-show. I don't understand the little, like, free kick thing.
Oh, rugby? Yeah, rugby's just a weird sport.
Just the extra point, I guess, kind of. Like, there's no chance of blocking or anything. It's essentially a free 2 points.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't get it. I don't get that part of it. Somebody can explain it to me later. That'd be great. Little water polo action.
Water polo.
Yeah. I haven't caught any of the swimming yet. That's kind of something I wanted to see. I got to see a little bit for a minute yesterday morning. I know Team USA looked pretty good today against Serbia. So that's a step in the right direction, even though I still think they're probably going to take an L somewhere along the way, even though they shouldn't. But we shall see. We shall see. If you want to talk about medal count, the USA leads in medals with 12, followed by France with 8 and Japan with 7. But Japan's, of their 7, 4 are gold, which I still haven't figured out what they won gold in. I haven't really dug that far into it.
I figured you would know that already.
I know. I'm trying to figure it out. I'm trying to find it.
supposed to be on top of this.
Man, you asking the wrong dude to be on top of stuff today.
I need you to be on top of it.
I am working on it. There we go. Let's see.
Pull up Olympics here.
I'm trying to.
The women's soccer team blasted Germany today, which is exactly what we wanted to see.
Women's
from
skateboarding.
that. Japan won women's skateboarding. Huh?
Yeah. Koko Yoshizawa. Skateboarding. Very good.
They lead the way with most golds.
That's what I'm saying. And then it looks like a judo gold medal and what else? That's great. That's pretty impressive. Yeah. They'll get there. U.S. should still win it. All the good stuff is coming, swimming.
Yeah, where we do very well is when that's coming. That's coming up.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But we'll be all right as a country.
We usually are.
I did see something that kind of irked me a little bit, but I didn't actually get to see it firsthand. I did see something about Brittany Griner taking a knee for the national anthem at the Olympics.
This bitch.
I don't.
This country saved your ass, and you're gonna take a knee?
That's a little much to me, bro.
This bitch.
It's a little much.
Take your ass on back to Russia, then. Hang out there.
Well, here's the thing. I don't care about the protesting.
Take that knee. That's fine.
I don't care about the protesting. Like I could give.
It's cool. She's just.
But in the Olympics, it's supposed to be.
You're playing for your country.
Yes.
Yeah, the very country that saved your ass.
Yeah. Like it irked me pretty badly when I saw that.
Yeah,
and I was like,
you're playing for this country, the country that saved your ass. You don't take a knee here.
Trade
You can
it.
protest, but don't protest against your own national anthem in the Olympics.
Yeah.
Do better.
Do much better. That kind of irked me pretty good. I was like, well,
Don't play for this team then.
Yeah.
Don't play.
Yeah.
No, go play for Russia. Go on. I ain't got no respect for her anymore.
That kind of did it for me.
I didn't have any anyway because, don't be stupid when you go to another country. Yeah. But at this point, nah. Nah.
You can't. That's just.
No, you're representing the United States of America.
It was super disrespectful, in my opinion.
In the Olympics.
Super disrespectful.
There's no self-awareness whatsoever.
No, man. No, you got to be better than that.
Yeah.
Got to be better. You and I kind of touched on that off air, and it's like, you got to be better than that.
No, makes me big mad, man. Makes me big mad.
It should. Should make a lot of people big mad. But anyway.
Like I said, you can do your protesting here and whatever, which way you want to do it, but
protest your WNBA game, anything like that. But you can't protest it at the Olympics.
Not when you're wearing
I know.
the red, white, and blue. And you're representing this country. And then you go protest the country while you're representing them? Like, you can just take your ass. I wouldn't have played her in that game. I would have just sat her ass down. I would send her home immediately afterwards. I'd be like, this is disrespectful. You can take your ass home.
Yeah, I kind of agree with you. I don't think that's too much of a stretch.
No.
I don't think it is at all.
Not for Olympics. This isn't political at all. This is just you're representing your country and you're going to protest your country here. Get out of here. Go on. Always got time for your shit.
I'm with you. I'm with you on that.
Yeah. Anything? I guess we have a lot more sports that are coming up. Basketball started today. And then of course, we get swimming. You said you watched a little bit of water polo.
I did watch a little bit of water polo.
Yeah, that's
watched Italy was beating up on the United States at the time.
Not surprising. I mean, water polo, though, man. Like, you think how difficult that's got to be. You're treading water the whole time.
You have to. You can't touch the bottom. No. You can't touch the sides.
Yeah.
Like, you have to tread the whole time. If the goalie is the only guy that can touch the ball with both hands.
Yes.
Like, it had to be one hand. And it's just like, dude, watching it, it's just like.
Dude, it's amazing. I'm I'm amazed by those athletes. I was like, dude,
I was watching
that's impressive.
watching with a friend, and she was like, "Why do they keep showing underwater?" And I'm like, "That's really where all the action is."
Yeah,
And they are just like going at it below water level.
Mm-hmm.
Like what you see when they're all like this, and what's going on underneath is completely different. They are like going at it. I did see a guy for Italy get removed from the game. He did throw a punch underwater.
Dang.
Yeah.
All right.
But a little crazy. A little crazy. A lot of tennis action going on today in the Olympics. I didn't really watch.
I didn't want you to that.
Yeah. Nope. The men's 10-meter air pistol was today.
Air pistol. That's what I'm talking about.
Good old BB guns.
Yes, sir.
I guess they shoot pellets. They're not really shooting BBs, are they?
Whatever. I mean,
It's the same thing, right? Same thing.
see what's happening tomorrow. Yeah, air rifle tomorrow at 3:30 in the morning. Ooh, that's a hell of a thing to wake up. Synchronized swimming starts tomorrow. Or diving, excuse me. 5 a.m. A little bit of equestrian at 5 a.m.
7:30, we got Spain and China in basketball.
Ooh, that's something I can wake up to.
8:10, women's cross country.
Okay.
Ooh, the women's rugby sevens. Great Britain and
A
Ireland.
lot of tennis and a lot of rugby tomorrow.
I know.
Man, this is all before noon. And then at 11, you got skateboarding men's street final.
Yeah.
You got some more archery. Judo. Women's judo at 11:18.
Women's football,
What?
11 o'clock. Yeah, it's soccer. We got some more soccer tomorrow.
Let's see.
I just saw football, and I was like, "What?" And then I realized they're talking soccer. They should just say soccer, not football.
We got fencing tomorrow afternoon,
Man,
starting at 2:50.
ooh,
There you go. Nice, nice. Yeah, good lineup tomorrow. I got good things going on then. We had the trade line in baseball this week.
yeah,
Deadline.
we do.
Things are getting kind of crazy.
We kind of talked about that. I'm still wishing my Mets would be sellers, but apparently they feel like winning now.
Yeah, they are. I mean, the Phillies landed another closer from the Angels, Estevez, for a couple of prospects. Then also dealt a couple starters for Austin Hayes to bolster a little bit of the outfield's batting. That's what the Phils have been needing. It's more consistent hitter from one of those three outside or outfield spots. So Austin Hayes was the pickup. Did not do too well today. I saw him strike out twice, one and left guys on bag while doing so. Not exactly the start we were hoping for Austin Hayes today. So Chisholm went from the Marlins to the Yankees. Go figure.
Yeah.
Figured they were going to be the biggest spenders in regard to him because I would have liked to see him in Philly, but I think the price tag was just too high for Philly to make that kind of a move.
Man, the Yankees, that's what they do, man. That's what they do.
Yeah, that's exactly how that works. Cubs went out and traded for Paredes from the Rays.
Yeah, the Mets have made some moves, acquiring Winker.
Yeah, I mean, you're seeing teams make moves that are, to potentially get them into the playoffs this year. So we'll see.
That's kind of weird.
Ooh, the Braves beat the hell out of the Mets today.
I'm sure they did.
Why? They usually don't do that right now.
Was it that bad?
Yeah. I mean, well, the Braves have been kind of skidding recently, and your team's been hot, so it's been a big difference.
Damn, they picked up a game on us with that one, too.
Well, yeah, they get a whole game beating you head to head.
The Braves have just been injury prone this year. That's where the problem being. Their pitching hasn't been as good as they thought it was going to be.
Right.
I don't know. there's some surprises, some not. Take a look at these standings here. Baltimore's still doing their thing in the AL East, followed closely by the Yankees. That whole division is pretty, it's not out of reach for Tampa.
No. 8.5 games back?
No, you really want to get crazy. 13 is not a huge leap.
No,
it's probably
for that Blue Jays team, yeah. But, the Rays still aren't out of it. They're 2 games above 500. Mm-hmm. There's opportunities to be had. Then when you start talking about like the wild card, there's opportunities to be had there because you have a conference or a division like the AL West where the leader is 55-50.
Yep. You're only probably getting one team from there.
Yeah.
You got to imagine the Yankees have positioned themselves pretty good in it. Minnesota or Kansas City sitting right there, borderline. Let's see, in the AL wild card at the moment. You got the Yankees, the Twins, the Royals, and the Red Sox are the first 4.
Yeah. The White Sox are on a 14-game skid right now.
Dude, they're awful.
14 games in a row.
They're awful, buddy.
Their run differential is -218. They're gonna surpass that 300 this year.
It's not gonna surprise me. They are bad.
They're bad.
And it's awful how bad they are.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how they get people to come to those games.
No, the errors they make, they're bad errors. It's rough to watch a White Sox game. I want to know how they've won 27 games.
3 of them I betted on. That's why they won those 3, because I put money on them to lose.
This is your time to bet on them right now. I would bet on them tomorrow to lose. They're in a 14-game skid.
All right, I'm going to bet on them tomorrow to lose, and I'm willing to bet you a side bet that they win.
They play the Royals tomorrow.
Oh,
in Chicago. All right, at 8:10 p.m. All right. The Royals are -175. White Sox are +145.
Just put a little on each side, and I'll still win money.
All right. Alec Marsh is starting for the Royals. 7-7 with a 4.75 ERA.
All right. Who's starting for the White Sox tomorrow?
Chris Flexen. He's 2-5 with a 5.25 ERA.
Oh, yeah. That sounds like a Royals win all day long.
Right? It should be.
Oh,
Flexen's given up 108 hits on the year and 106 innings. That's almost a hit an inning. All right?
That's bad.
Only 78 Ks, 43 walks, and 18 homers.
That's awful.
I'm gonna say this has a Royals win all over it.
Tickets as low as $6 for that game.
Man, I bet that's to sit behind home plate.
The Texas St. Louis game, tickets as low as $3.
Ooh.
What? How are you making money like that, buddy?
You can't. You can't be.
Can't be making money with $3 tickets, man.
No
ticket tomorrow is
bad team, bro.
There's only 3 tickets for tomorrow that are more than $20. And of course, one of them is in your team stadium.
Well, yeah, it's super expensive to go to Philly.
Well, they got the Yankees tomorrow too.
Oh, yeah, that's gonna make a ton of sense.
So, $72.
Not bad.
No, it's not terrible.
Nosebleed, 72.
Boston and Seattle are 27. Pittsburgh and Houston are 22. But Paul Skeens is pitching tomorrow. So I think that's got to help a little bit.
That's got a lot to do with that.
Yeah. Which he got his first loss this week in a game in which he got 0 run support. think he pitched, I think it was 8 innings, allowed
Yeah,
2 runs,
There's no
like
run.
7 or 8 Ks. Like, he's doing his job. And he's been doing it well, to be honest. I know he hadn't been playing all year, but he's probably, if he keeps what he's doing up, he's probably Rookie of the Year easily.
Yeah,
Easily.
I think so.
Outside Cy Young winner. Outside chance.
Yeah, I mean, if you keep doing well and you push Pittsburgh into I don't see him getting that.
I don't think he gets it. I think it's an outside chance if he keeps doing what
will he
he's doing.
show up on the voting card? Probably.
Oh, he's going to show up.
Yeah,
He'll show
that's
up.
what I'm saying.
If he keeps doing what he's doing, I mean, you got to think if he stays on his pace, he'll end up with 14, 15 wins.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're looking at a sub 2 ERA, probably close to 200 strikeouts, maybe a little more.
Sounds right.
I mean, that's not terrible.
No, sir.
Considering he missed, the first month and a half, he's tied for 58th in Ks.
That's impressive. That's damn impressive.
I mean, how many games has he actually played?
It's got to be, 10, 12, maybe?
12 games.
12 games?
12 games.
Feel good about that.
And he's got 98 strikeouts. Averaging 8 a game. That's pretty sick.
It's awesome.
Dude's got some heat. I mean, he's throwing 100 miles an
Dude
hour.
throws straight gas, absolutely.
I'd like to see I would like to be in a batter's box to see 100 miles an hour. I ain't going to hit it.
Yeah.
I want to see the release, and I want to hear the cack like a half a second later. That's it.
I get it. Well, with baseball getting there, man, it's getting more exciting. I'll tell you what is really exciting. Didn't even really think about it until yesterday. You know what happens on Thursday?
What happens Thursday?
The Hall of Fame game.
Oh, shit. It's on then. I saw a thing the other day that said this Thursday is going to be the last Thursday we don't have football.
Yeah.
And I was like, what's going on next? And then it's the Hall of Fame game.
The Hall of Fame game. Houston and Chicago open us up in preseason football.
And we won't get to see Caleb Williams.
I don't care. I don't want to see him anyway.
We're not going to see him. We're not going to see
Not the
him.
first
You're not going to see anybody.
Not
You're
going to
see
DJ Moore. You're not going to see Keenan Allen.
You're not going to see Dunze. You're not going to see DeAndre Swift.
Right.
You're not seeing any of those guys.
No.
You're seeing the 3rd, 4th, 5th string guys.
Guys that are struggling to make it. But it's back. It's back.
It is football.
So excited. So excited for football to be back. And that is Thursday. We are right in it.
We need to get on our football game, or it's going to be football season starting soon.
Yeah, so the Hall of Fame game is on the 1st. And then it's another week, of course. And then we start getting into real preseason. That's going to start on the 8th. We get started that Thursday night with Carolina at New England, as well as Detroit at the Giants.
Oof.
That Friday night, then you got some more games. You got Atlanta at Miami, Houston at Pittsburgh, and Philadelphia at Baltimore. So good shit. And then, of course, that Saturday, that Sunday, that's when you get your full slate of games in. Who is Green Bay's first preseason game? At Cleveland.
At Cleveland.
On Saturday, August 10th.
I like it.
Yes, sir.
I like it. You realize the day of our fantasy football draft, we actually have real college football going on that day, too.
We do. It's August 24th. It's going to be a fantastic day, sir.
It is. It is. Some weird matchups that day, though. But anyway.
I brewed a beer today for that, in fact. Just
can't
to make
wait.
sure it is ready to go.
Cannot wait, son.
The 24th next month.
But I know the NFL starting this week. It's awesome. We did have a little stuff go on this week. My Packers re-signed Jordan Love or extended.
Getting paid.
I think the price is a little high.
I think it's a little
considering
high.
He's had one season.
Right. I think they overspent. They did minimalize the extent of the contract by keeping it to 4 years.
Yeah.
That was smart. They didn't overextend him by the 5 or 6 or however many years we've seen some of these other deals. So they're not restricting their immediate future. Well, terribly bad, right? You know, they can go in a different direction without a terrible cap hit and even say 2 years, right?
I mean, I don't think they'll need to, but I just think that's a lot of money.
4 years
for you to only been a starter for 1 year. I mean, nobody's really got tape on you. We'll see how they adjust to you this year as a starter, which, I mean, you did well on an offense that was the youngest offense in the NFL.
I think that says a lot.
Yeah, it does. It does. I mean, you know, I was super unsure about Jordan Love. I said that very much so on the podcast, and the fact that it is very hard to have success at that position in the rate that the Green Bay Packers have had success in the past.
Correct. Mm-hmm.
I mean, they're essentially their third main starter, not counting like injury or anything like that. And since what, 93? 30 years?
It's crazy.
I mean, that's just insane. Insane. And I mean, he looked the part.
I mean, yeah, they saw what he did in the playoffs. I mean, this.
Yeah. I mean, they probably should have beat San Fran.
Probably should have.
But, you know, we'll see. We'll see how it works. Again, that's a division that, unfortunately, other than Minnesota stepping back quarterback-wise, I mean, you think everyone should be a little better. Even Chicago should be.
Yeah, they should be better, sure. I mean, I think they're going to have some lumps early on in the year. And let's see where Green Bay starts the year. Let's see where the Eagles start this year. I mean, that's going to be a hell of a game right from the go.
That's the jump.
So you got to figure it out. Like, do the Eagles come back and play this same kind of trash football they played at the end of last year? And are Green Bay living up to the billing that they set themselves up for at the end of last year?
My only problem with the Eagles is I think if they start slow, they could be having an interim head coach week 6 or week 7 if they start 1-4, 1-5.
I think it very well could happen. Because look at it. When you talk about having the keys to success and having the pieces in place to be successful, the Eagles have the roster. On paper, they have the roster, so it comes down to the coach. It's like, who's going to get the most out of this roster? And if it's not going to be Nick Sirianni, we'll move on from Nick Sirianni really fast. Especially if you've invested like you've invested this offseason and you don't get the results early on, there will be a change quickly. I was the only position I'm really worried about them is they've got youth on defense. I need to see something from that linebacker core. That's their only really question mark. They addressed the backfield on the defensive side with 2 young studs, and then they got Bradbury. Bradbury's depends. Like I said, last year he was cooked. He was burnt toast all year. But it's sometimes it takes keeping a guy like that around. He may not be able to do it on the field, but what he can do on the sidelines, depending on what kind of role he wants to take. It's nice to have a vet on the sidelines. They can say, "Hey, look, this is what I'm seeing. This is what they're doing." Yeah, no, I think when you look at the linebacking core, you got Nakobe Dean back.
Yeah.
Which we also have Jeremiah Trotter Jr. coming in off the
drafted
draft.
a guy.
Went off and traded for Devin White. I feel comfortable with that. That's a big step in the right direction for bringing in somebody with a little bit of experience, a little bit of leadership at that position. And then, of course, Nolan Smith's there. Huge move for us as well. So he's a year older. Are we going to see what we've been looking for out of that guy at this point? So I think Nolan Smith turns a corner this year, and we're looking a lot better. You get to the corner spots, like you said. You've got Darius Slay Jr. still. You got Bradbury. You got Quinion Mitchell. Then you also have Cooper DeJean.
Yeah.
Who, I mean, he might play nickel early on just because of how deep we can be at corner.
You're fine with that.
Oh, sure.
You're fine with
that.
But
I mean, you got Avonte Maddox there too.
I mean, you drafted the two best corners in the draft this year.
At safety, we look great too. And I mean, I think we've been experimenting with Bradbury at safety a little bit because of how deep we are at corner. Then you got Reed back, and you got GJ that we brought back. I feel really good with the secondary this year.
Yeah,
I can't always say that I've felt really great about it, but I feel really good about the secondary this year. Your question mark, of course, is going to be defensive line because you lose a guy like Fletcher Cox. But was he his best last year? No. But you get a more seasoned Jordan Davis, a more seasoned Jalen Carter.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we go off and get a guy like Bryce Huff. We bring back Josh Sweat. We bring back Brandon Graham. And I like what it looks like on paper.
I like the Eagles. I think they should. I think they should be contenders in the NFC East. They should be.
Obviously, yeah. I wouldn't see why we would not be.
Honestly, it's probably them or Dallas. I don't think Washington definitely not ready. The Giants are definitely not ready. I mean, the Giants made some moves, but
it's going to be a Dallas and Philly
race
East.
Yeah,
there's no question about that. Yeah, I mean, you look at the Giants, you look at the Redskins on the bottom. There's a reason they're there.
Yeah.
And, I mean, you would have to see
the Redskins
turnaround like Houston had for the Redskins, and how often do we see that? You don't.
You don't really see it very often.
You don't see it.
But if any young quarterback can do it, I think
Jalen Daniels is that guy. I like him. I mean, they got a really good guy in Washington. So.
I liked him. I like him a lot. I said I would probably took him first.
Mm-hmm.
But, I was kind of riding him all last year, I mean, I actually thought LSU was going to win the SEC because of him.
No, I remember. So let's look at it this way. You look at the Dallas depth chart. Tell me, outside of Zeke, who's at running back for them?
Dude, they are trash at running back.
I don't think Zeke's gonna be good.
I don't think Zeke's gonna be good. I don't think their offensive line is as good as it used to be.
Oh, their offensive line is gonna be a question mark this year.
I think you take Micah Parsons off of their defense. I don't think their defense is that great.
Well, look at it. You're gonna start Dak, of course. Then you got Zeke.
Mm-hmm.
You have CeeDee Lamb and Brandon Cooks. Okay, Brandon Cooks. He's another year older.
Yeah.
And this guy has been a journeyman in the NFL. Granted, he's been a pretty solid guy, but do you know who their number 3 wide receiver is?
It's it's that kid they just drafted last year. What is that kid's fucking?
Jalen Tolbert. They picked round 3 last year in 2022 draft. So 2 years ago, right?
Yeah.
22 receptions and 268 yards last year.
Ferguson's a young tight end.
Yeah, I think Jake Ferguson's going to be just fine for him. That's not really much of a question mark in the tight end spot. Dak has weapons to throw to. Now, here's the thing. Is Dak going to be protected?
That I don't know about.
This line is completely revamped outside of Zach Martin. Right?
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. God.
You have any injuries to that O-line, and shit hits the fan for Dallas offensively.
I think shit hits the fan for Dallas anyway because they're one-dimensional.
Yeah. No, they're
Like legitimately one-dimensional.
I agree with you.
They can throw. They're going to be able to throw.
Yeah. Look at, defensively, you take off Parsons.
They're an average defense with Parsons and Trayvon Diggs.
Because we'll come back to Diggs. We'll come back to Bland. These guys sell out for interceptions. Cool. But the problem is when you sell out on those and then you get burnt, like we've seen them get burnt so much.
Yeah.
And, at some point you got to start questioning the health of these guys too.
Well, you got to think a lot of Bland's success last year too was the fact that they were not throwing to Diggs' side.
Well, you didn't have to because he was taking the one every time. So It was like, oh, well, R2 was shot.
Yep.
Let's force, another guy to beat us.
Yep.
The thing is like you can still beat Diggs. You just got to beat him on the right play.
Mm-hmm.
Shit like that. But that's really when you talk about it, that's the depth chart for the defensive side of the ball. I just don't see Dallas being nearly as good as they were maybe years past. I don't.
Well, I think them not being able to run the ball is going to be.
That's huge. That's huge. You become one-dimensional. It's a world of difference right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's one of those, hey, we're gonna play nickel and dime the entire game and force you to run the ball on us.
Let's go to your team. Looking at your team, why and in terms of depth chart on offense?
It's young. It's youth, brother.
It's young, but I like it a lot.
I do too.
Like Christian Watson is a true number one. True number one. And then you have Romeo Doubs backing it up. I like it. I do. And, I don't know much about Jalen Reed at all. Or Jaden Reed, sorry.
He had a couple of big games last year.
Yeah.
He had a couple of big games.
You've got talented wideouts. You got Josh Jacobs there now at wide receiver. A.J. Dillon's still there, or is there.
Yeah.
And then you have, is it Marshawn Lloyd? Is that that's the guy y'all drafted in the third round this year, right?
Yep.
Yeah, running back from USC.
Yep.
So, your running backs look good, and then that O-line's always good. The O-line in Green Bay, that's been pretty solid for years of.
They've got a couple pieces that are younger. They're moving in the right direction, I think. I like it. I still think they got a few question marks on the defensive side, but we'll see. We'll see.
But you're addressing them with like Xavier McKinney.
Yeah.
Right? So you get a guy like that.
I was hoping they would get one of those young corners, but they didn't.
The Eagles snatched them all up.
Yeah, they did.
But you got a good.
We got
set up in the secondary too, though.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of Carrington Valentine, but he played at Kentucky. This is his second year in the league. He's a solid corner. Of course, you still have Jair Alexander, who's probably one of the best corners
in the game
right now. Your secondary is solid, especially with the addition of Xavier McKinney. I like the secondary. Your question mark does come around the defensive line, really.
Mm-hmm.
That's where I think Green Bay's question mark will be.
But they made some strides to it. They took Lucas Van Ness last year. He's a young guy that's probably going to develop
from Iowa.
Yep. So, I think he'll be fine. It's all, I don't know how you pull a rebuild like they have.
I just think
with the youth.
I think Green Bay is one of the luckiest franchises in football.
Just the youth that they've able to obtain over the last couple of years and then still be able to stay somewhat relevant.
It's crazy.
And then you see teams that try to do this all the time and can't draft for shit.
Nope.
We'll start with the Giants. The Giants are probably some of the worst drafters. Period.
Yeah.
Look at how many offensive linemen they've missed on over the last 10 years.
Many.
Like a ton. A ton.
I'm fine with it though.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure you are. But I'm just like, God, man. But the Packers are also, they have a history of like, hey, we know direction where we want to go. We'll start looking for that guy now. And if he sits for 2 years, he sits. And they don't have any problem doing that.
No, they've done it with every position for the longest period of time. It works.
Yeah. I do think they're going to miss the leadership of Bakhtiari.
Of course.
But, I mean, he can't stay on the field anymore. Seems like he's hurt more than he plays.
Yeah. I think your biggest competition, of course, is going to be Detroit.
I don't think Detroit's going away. I think Detroit are legitimate contenders.
How can they fall off? How can they?
Dude, they are a team that put people in the right places.
Why the fuck David Montgomery's still listed as the starter?
He's not going to. I don't know.
You said this last year.
I don't know. After what I saw from Gibbs is a stud.
We know this.
Like he needs to see the ball more than Montgomery does.
Listen, man. We know this, but Montgomery is still listed as the one in Detroit.
I don't know how that's possible.
He's got fucking videotape.
He got something.
He's got Dan Campbell or something.
He got something. But I mean, being in my division, it hurts my feelings to say that. Like, I don't think Detroit's going away anytime soon.
How
you got it? You got young pieces there too,
signed long term.
Yeah, and you got a team that would run through a brick wall for their head coach.
Yes,
like they love that guy. And until something changes to change that dynamic, I don't see anything changing for them. Like, I mean, even like Jared Goff has played it's ridiculous. Like, Detroit won that trade easily. Granted, the Rams did get a Super Bowl out of it. Detroit got extra draft picks and Jared Goff. And if you look at the stats, Goff had better stats than Stafford has over that time.
It's wild, right?
And that was a guy that got them to, what did he get them, to an NFC championship game or to a Super Bowl? And they lost, right?
Stafford won a Super Bowl.
I know. Stafford won a Super Bowl, yes. But they sold out to get it. Think about it. They just had their...
That's all you needed.
They picked in the first round for the first time in like 6 years this year.
Yeah, I know. But I'm saying that's what it was about, though. They knew what they were getting themselves into.
Yeah. I get it. They sold out for the one. And they're pretty lucky in their drafting, too. They seem to find like gems late, too. They're going to miss Aaron Donald, though.
Well, obviously.
I mean, it's
who would
it's slightly understated,
one of the best defenders of all time.
I mean, he still had 2 or 3 good years left.
Easy.
He's like, nah, I'm just gonna roll. Good on you. He
came in and he said, I have 10 years, and he gave it 10 years, and that's it.
He got his ring. I mean,
he's made his career. He's a first ballot Hall of Famer.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, what more can he do for the game?
He's arguably the best defensive tackle to ever play.
Yeah. I mean, you could talk about him being one of the best defenders of all time.
Yeah.
Overall.
I mean,
you put him up against LT. I know they don't play the same position, but I mean, they changed the game in the same capacity.
Well, if you look at it, when I think defensive tackles, it was kind of they were a run-stopping mind, just clog up the kind of middle until like Warren Sapp came. And Warren Sapp kind of changed the position a little bit into the direction in which Aaron Donald ended up. Because at a time, defensive tackles weren't known for sacks or this or that. They were known for just stopping the run, clogging the middle.
Correct.
That's it. Aaron Donald could do it all. He would stop the run. He had 3 guys on him and still stop the run. I mean, I think I sent you the picture of like
That's crazy.
of the thing. It's like, Dad, can you tell me about Aaron Donald? And it's like, just show him this one picture, and it's him being triple teamed with his hand
And
still
on
on the running back.
Yeah. That guy's crazy.
I mean, just crazy strong too.
I'll say, I want to know what is the hype behind Baltimore.
I like the addition of.
I do. I like
Henry.
the addition of Henry, of course. I mean, that's a big thing. Their offensive line is pretty solid. It's not the greatest, but it's not bad.
Yeah, but Henry doesn't need a great offensive line.
No, but like,
I mean, he is a little long in the tooth for a running back.
let's talk about, and we're also talking about Baltimore and their issues at running back. It's almost like a jinx of running backs there.
It very much is.
But Zay Flowers, yet to tell if this guy's really a true number one or not. Then you got Rashad Bateman, who's at times great or not. And I mean, look at the number 3.
Yeah.
We all know how I feel about him.
We all know how everyone feels about it. But
I mean, it just of course, you have Mark Andrews, one of the top 5 tight ends in the game.
I like Isaiah Likely. They're back. I think he's good.
But I mean, I think offensively, I just don't see the ball moving outside of Lamar and Derrick Henry. And we're talking about running the ball. Do you think Lamar Jackson is going to throw enough to lift this team to the promised land?
I think he's got to. I think he's got to.
He's going to have to, sure, but do you think he's going to? He's going to have the ability to. I mean, what? Baltimore is considered the favorite or the second highest favorite to win a Super Bowl this year?
I don't know if they're that high. Let's see.
So.
Let's see.
I get it. Their defense is still solid. It's stout. So that makes sense to me. But I go across the roster for the offense, and I just don't see it stacking up with other teams. Now, don't get me wrong. Derrick Henry, huge addition, gives a whole dynamic to Baltimore that they haven't really had.
According to BetMGM, Kansas City is 1
Yep.
at 5 plus 550. San Francisco is 2nd plus 650. Baltimore is 3rd at plus 1,000.
Okay. So yeah, I knew they were up there.
That seems so high to me.
Right? That's what I thought. I thought they were a little high here. But this is why this is a hobby for me. And not getting paid.
That's just Texans are at plus 1,500. Buffalo's plus 15. Cincinnati's plus 14. I don't know, man. That just seems outside of the Chiefs, and I don't even know how the Chiefs are still. I mean, I do. Don't get me wrong. I do.
They overcome it last year. They can overcome it again this year.
That's just. They overcame it last year with defense, is what's crazy. Like the offense did just enough to get them by. I mean, Mahomes is great. I'm not taking anything away from him. But, like, they did just enough. Their defense carried them in some games. I need to see something from their offense. I think their offense is still good. I think it's yes, I don't understand why they're that big of a favorite. I mean, outside of Kelsey, who's catching the ball?
Right. So who's the bottom of
Who's got the highest?
who is the least favorite?
The Carolina Panthers.
I would imagine.
Plus 25,000.
25,000.
Plus 25,000. Washington is second with plus 15. Tennessee plus 15. Actually, there's several teams at plus 15. Broncos, Patriots, Giants, Titans, Commanders.
I don't think I'd bet on any of those to do it.
I don't think any of those teams are playoff teams.
No.
I do think Tennessee could be a sneakier team than
They
anybody
could
else.
be, yes.
They've got talent.
Well, that was my thought.
I don't like the Marcus Pollard signing.
That's dumb.
I don't like that one. But they got Ridley. They've got God, why am I having a brain fart?
Hopkins.
Yep. Hopkins. I think Levis has the ability.
His upside's huge, man. There's a lot there for him.
We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see. I don't know how the Chargers are where they're at. They're middle of the pack, but I don't know how. I think that's just the Harbaugh light ride. The Jets are plus 2,200.
Plus 2,200.
1, 2, 3, 4, 6.
Compare that to Green Bay for me.
Green Bay's plus 1,600. They're 2 spots ahead of the Jets.
So are the Birds up there?
The Birds
Plus 2,500.
are plus 14.
Plus 14.
They're the same.
Favorite, I think.
They're the same as the Bengals.
Okay.
Same as the Bengals, and they are technically third in the NFC odds,
Okay.
behind San Fran and Detroit.
Got it. So have you looked over the Panthers depth chart?
It's bad, bro.
Ooh.
It's bad.
Ooh.
It's bad.
Some of these guys, you're like, these probably shouldn't be professional football players.
Dude, supposedly they got a plan. Supposedly.
What is the plan?
To lose, apparently, again this year.
Yeah, obviously.
Um,
You looked at the third string quarterback for the Panthers.
No, I haven't. Do I need to? Is it that bad? Carolina Panthers. Let's see your depth charts, my friend. Jack Plummer. That's that kid we talked about him. That's the kid from we were wondering if that was Jake Plummer's son, and it's not.
Right. No, it's the dude from Louisville.
Yep.
Yeah.
Undrafted guy.
And then, of course, they got the Ginger as the backup there.
I don't think that's a terrible backup.
No, Andy Dalton's fine as a backup there.
I thought that thing.
It's be awful anyway.
Speaking of Andy Dalton, I thought that thing I sent you about Tua was great when about him being the Hawaiian Andy Dalton.
Yeah, that was good.
That was pretty funny to me.
So look at the running backs. So you signed Miles Sanders to this big deal.
And he's third on the list.
He's listed as your third string running back, behind Jonathan Brooks and Chubb Hubbard.
Jonathan Brooks, if I was him, I'd just roll him out and let him start.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just you know where you're going to be.
You know what you got here. This is what we want. It's funny to see Rashad Penny down there, too, as a fourth stringer. You got to imagine Rashad Penny's probably not making it through camp.
Man, the Miles Sanders, that was a bad signing to begin with.
It was, because you took a guy out of a system that worked behind one of the best O-lines.
Right.
And you put him behind a bad O-line. Like, is he that good? No.
No, he was horrible. Horrible.
I mean, look at the wide receivers.
I mean,
here.
when he went out last year, Hubbard actually outperformed him.
Yeah. So we're talking Deontay Johnson. Don't know how much of an asset that is. They're calling him the number one. I would go ahead and say Xavier Leggett's probably your number one.
Jonathan Mingo, that guy, Terrence Marshall. They've got some young guys. It's just
those young guys, are they going to step up and be the difference, right?
Yeah. I just need to see it. What I need to see, I need to see Bryce Young.
Well, you're
do
going
it.
to have to see.
That's it. That's who needs to do it.
See something big happen there.
We need to see a big change.
Yeah.
And the sad part is he's working on technically head coach number 3.
True.
You know? So, I mean, you that's how you stun a guy right out the gate. Let's take our quarterback we traded up for. Let's give him 3 different systems in the span of a year.
And see if you can fix it. Figure it out.
That's not a good. It's not good, bro.
No.
It's not good. Because you're looking at 3 head coaches,
There's a
2 offensive coordinators.
there's a corner on Carolina's. His name is DiCaprio Boodle. DiCaprio
Boodle. I like it. That's great.
Hell of a name right there.
That is great. Lord. Their defense is a mess too, man.
It's a big mess. They've aged up here with Jadeveon Clowney and Shaq Thompson.
I mean, Derek Brown's a beast, but when you're the only good guy on your team, I give my brother all kinds of crap about J.C. Horn all the time.
Well, I mean, what you could
Well, it's
get
like,
for him.
well, A, he can't stay healthy,
Well, that,
and B, you passed up Patrick Surtain, who has turned into one of the best corners in the league.
I mean, J.C. Horn, when he's playing, is one of the best.
Yeah, but I don't need one of the best for 7 games. I need one of the best for 16, 17 games.
Right.
Which is what he had. Hey, they've got their 3rd string corner's name's Lamar Jackson.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, they're going to be a mess for a minute.
It's going to be years before Carolina's back in the thick of things.
Dude, all it takes is one bad trade. One bad trade. And at that point, I don't blame them for trading CMC.
No.
I mean, trade him. I think at how he's performed in San Francisco, I feel like they got hosed.
They definitely got hosed. He stays healthy.
He stayed healthy. He's been legitimately, he's been arguably the best player in football since the trade.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
I mean, the only thing the guy hasn't done is win a Super Bowl yet.
That's it. So speaking of Niners, think Ayuk is going to come to a deal or what?
I mean, he's playing on the tag. He's still going to make, I think it was 20.
He doesn't want to play on the tag.
Well, you can say at home. They've given the offer. It ain't like he can do anything else. They have the guy. He's there. He is theirs.
Sure.
I mean, if they really want to play hardball with him, they could do it for the next 2 years.
Yeah.
I mean, he's technically under contract now, and then they can tag him 2 times. Sometimes it's better just to come to work and be a good soldier. I'm not saying don't get your bag.
He showed up to camp. I mean, you gotta say that's better than for say like Hassan Reddick.
Yeah. I mean, he showed up.
But this guy should be getting the bag right now.
He should be.
There's no reason for San Francisco to underpay or not pay him.
I think they're trying to find the right deal.
Where do you get the right deal? Who's hurting for a wide receiver right now?
Who's hurting for wide receivers?
That could be competitive and give up the assets to make it worth their while.
Arizona.
Buffalo. Oh, so let's say you think Arizona is a wide receiver away from making a step?
No, I don't think they're a wide receiver away, but do they have the ability to give assets? Yes.
Yeah, no, I get that.
I think Buffalo is a good choice. I think Buffalo would be a great choice.
Right. No, absolutely. Because you need that now. Because when you go and look at like a Buffalo, their best wide receiver is what? Shakir?
Yeah. Buffalo would be a good team to be looking at their tight ends for their in fantasy this year because they're going to catch some balls.
They definitely are.
Kincaid is going to be the man. Him and Dalton Knox.
Hey, what is it? Kincaid and Knox are the 2 tight ends there in Buffalo. Yeah, those are going to be some big names.
Yeah. Who else is a wide receiver away? look at all the teams that I consider playoff teams.
Jacksonville could probably use one. I don't know if they're that away, but they're in a division that's competitive and they can get into playoffs.
That's going to be probably the most interesting division. Because you got to see what Jacksonville does. Jacksonville actually could use a receiver after losing Ridley.
Yep.
I mean, Tennessee could be a little better. I think Indy's going to be better.
Raiders,
dude, I think the Raiders is not a wide receiver away. I think the Raiders are quarterback away. I don't trust I would start Minshew, but I don't think he can win a Super Bowl. I don't know if he can get to the playoffs. Sorry, I sound like crap today.
I know. I think when you're talking about the addition of Brock Bowers, you still have Devontae Adams. You got a guy like Jacoby Myers who's okay there.
Yeah.
I will be shocked to see how well they run the football this year, though.
Who they end up picking up?
Their starter is Zamir White. He was picked in the 4th round 2 years ago by the Raiders.
So they're not running the ball.
No.
Okay. Yeah. No, man.
You saw how well they played at the end of the year. They love that coach.
No, they do. I don't know what it took them so long to make that decision.
Stupid ass.
Dude, I've seen a lot of teams. I mean, they should have never got rid of Rich Bisaccia.
No, he was dealing. They had the opportunity to do it. They wanted to go get a big name, and look where they ended up.
There's a lot of teams that make that same mistake. The guy the Panthers had before they hired Matt Rule, or not Matt Rule, before he ended up he was San Francisco defensive coordinator this year. They should have kept him. Panthers should have kept him. They were playing fine when they fired Matt Rule.
Yeah.
Wilkes. Steve Wilkes.
Right.
Yeah.
That's correct.
You see teams do that all the time. They want to make that splash. What Carolina really needs to do is they need to set David Tepper down and say, let us do our job.
I agree. Hey, we got to take a break real fast.
Yep.
Oh.
All right, we're back from break.
Yeah, just a quick break there, but we're back. We're going to wrap this up pretty quick anyway. I mean, we've dove into a little bit of ESPN, or not ESPN. What am I talking about?
NFL rosters.
NFL.
Looking at. We'll have our NFL picks and stuff coming soon.
Yes.
Probably the next couple of weeks. We'll go through each division, how we feel about each team. We'll look at some college football coming up too. That it's, football, our bread and butter. So we're looking very hardcore into that stuff.
Yeah, college football as well. Super excited for that to start. Can't get here soon enough, man.
No.
Can't get here soon enough.
No, I am ready for all of that. I'm over baseball.
I'm not over baseball.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't either if my team was in first place.
Hey, man, we're doing what we got to do. Not since All-Star break, though. Not since All-Star break.
Well, I say that my team is slowly coming in. They're doing way better than I expected them to.
They were the best team in July, right?
They are. But, there's still a couple of days left. That could change.
It did today. Whew. They got beat bad by the Braves.
Yes, they did. Yes, they did.
It was a rough one for them. But still on the upward tick.
Yeah. They're still on the
Still
upward.
right in the midst of a wild card spot. I think they're leading the wild card, if I'm not mistaken.
They're not. They're fourth.
They're fourth? Okay.
They're fourth.
So they're leading the wild card.
No, they're fourth in the wild card.
Really?
Yeah.
Even though after that, because they were so close beforehand.
They are fourth in the wild card, buddy. I looked it up.
Well, I imagine you did.
I had to see. Wow. Like I said, the wild card standing for them. The Mets. It's Atlanta first. San Diego second.
Well, they got to be, because I forgot about Atlanta. So they're third.
Yeah.
But that means they are in right now. 'Cause
They
three
are
teams-
in right now
they are in.
by a half a game over Arizona.
Right. But they're only a half game back behind San Diego, only a game and a half behind Atlanta.
I know, which is nuts to me.
Well, we're considering where they started at the beginning of the year. That's huge. That's huge.
I mean, they're only, 8 games back?
Of
No, 10 games. 10 games back from Phillies right now,
right.
which that's not a huge stretch.
No. I mean, we were talking about the opportunity that Toronto even had in the AL East. They had 13 games. So, yeah. I mean, look at the Central. All teams are 10 games back or less.
Yeah.
With a plus 35 run differential, the Reds are dead last in the Central.
That's crazy.
5 games under 500.
Dead last.
Dead last. Also play better on the road. Slightly.
And then you got the Rays, who are a couple of games above 500 at minus 50 in the run differential.
Yeah.
That means you're winning close games, and then the ones you're losing, you're getting
your ass beat.
Yeah.
Yep.
Just crazy. Crazy. Anything else you got on your brain today, buddy?
No, just getting excited for football to start now. We're headed in that direction. Like we said, Thursday night is the Hall of Fame game. Then we're full blown into preseason football in the NFL the week after. So 2 weeks away from full on preseason football.
Yeah.
Also, that means we're 4 weeks away from the start of college football.
Yes, sir.
And which means we got some episodes to put together because it took us 2 episodes to do college football last time. It took us 2 episodes to do NFL. So we got 4 episodes of preseason, preseason bullshit previews for the whole year. So we got to get to that. We got to get there soon.
Yeah. Yes, we do. I'm assuming we'll do the usual pre-fantasy football draft show too.
Yeah.
That'll be the first day of college football.
That will be the first day of college football. What is cool is we will have Montana State at New Mexico and SMU at Nevada for our fantasy football party.
Oh, nice.
That would be fantastic.
Yep, the Florida State Georgia Tech game will be over because they're playing in Dublin.
Play at noon. Yeah, they'll play early. There's another game at Hawaii that time is still to be determined. I'm assuming that one's probably gonna be like around 6-ish, somewhere in there, and it'll be a day game over there.
Yeah. That's what I'm guessing. Delaware State and Hawaii.
Oh, is it Delaware State?
Mm-hmm.
Hawaii should be the brakes off of.
It should. It should. Florida State is a 13-point favorite.
In Dublin?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Why do they start these conference games in week 1 now? Doesn't that kind of piss you off?
It's weird.
Don't get it.
It's weird.
I'm not a huge fan of it.
Yeah, but there's a lot. They really don't kick off until the following weekend.
Well, I know.
That's when the games are really happening.
Thursday, the 29th, that's when you start having a buttload of games. You got a few on that Friday, and then Saturday is boom, everybody.
Well, you got Georgia Clemson that Saturday.
Yes. At noon.
You.
That's fantastic. You got Penn State, West Virginia.
Miami, Florida.
Yes.
I mean, just what's the primetime game? There'll be a balling primetime game that day too, I'm sure.
Not really. I think your best games are early.
Oh well, you got Sunday. You got a Sunday game that week. Yeah, LSU and USC that week too.
Oh, that's right. Because there's no NFL doesn't start to the following week.
That's right.
That's correct. And then you've got Yeah, but there's no really great games. You got Notre Dame and Texas A&M 7:30 on Saturday night.
That'll be a good one.
That'd be good.
That'll be good.
At A&M.
CBS's first Big Ten game. Because, they have the Big Ten now.
Akron and Ohio State.
Yep. That is what they're replacing what would be usually the best SEC matchup of the week.
Right.
That's what we get. Ohio State and Akron.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Thanks.
Fantastic.
We'll go through all these schedules and
Excuse me.
What's happening in the conferences shortly, though. So for this week, man, let's wrap it up. Not much more to touch on. Y'all watch the Olympics. Get into that. There's some good stuff out there. I mean, even rowing kept me interested today. So I encourage all of y'all to do such a thing.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, man. Well, until next week, we will holler at y'all later.
Yes, sir.
Post-game show is brought to you by Christ, I can't find it. The hell with it.